Well done.
Thank you.
May I request the two ministers not to move from where they are? I think they're going to sign the next one. We shall again witness the signing of the Memorandum of Understanding by the same honorable ministers between the Department of International Relations and Cooperation of the Republic of South Africa and the Minister of Foreign Affairs of the Republic of Kenya on diplomatic training.
Well done.
Okay.
Thank you very much, honorable ministers. Yes, that's it, Minister. You'll come later on, Minister.
Well done, ministers.
We shall now witness the signing ceremony between the Republic of South Africa and represented by Honorable Minister Sisulu and the Republic of Kenya represented by Minister Balala. They will be signing the Memorandum of Understanding between the Government of the Republic of South Africa and the Government of the Republic of Kenya on cooperation in the field of tourism. May I invite the ministers to come forward.
Wow.
That's the way to do it.
Wow. Gee. I feared that this might happen.
That's a good one. Well done.
Thank you very much, honorable ministers.
You're welcome.
Perfect.
Thank you. Oh my. Yo, it's getting worse now.
We shall now witness the signing ceremony between the Republic of South Africa and represented by Honorable Minister Pasha and the Republic of Kenya represented by Minister Kahwe. May the ministers come forward, please. Thank you.
Holding hands.
Please don't do that.
The ministers will be signing a Memorandum of Understanding between the Government of the Republic of Kenya and the Government of the Republic of South Africa in the field of health. Thank you very much, honorable ministers.
Well done.
We shall now witness the signing ceremony between the Republic of South Africa, represented by Honorable Minister Mtsoaledi, and the Republic of Kenya, represented by Minister Omamo. They will be signing the Memorandum of Understanding between the Government of the Republic of South Africa and the Government of the Republic of Kenya on migration matters. Thank you very much, Honorable Ministers. May I, on the same note, request the ministers to remain, as they are still going to sign another Memorandum of Understanding. The two ministers are now going to sign a Memorandum of Understanding between the Government of the Republic of South Africa and the Government of the Republic of Kenya on the government printing works.
Well done.
Thank you very much, Honorable Ministers. No. I think you're done, Ministers. Thank you so much. We shall now witness the signing ceremony between the Republic of South Africa, represented by Honorable Minister Mbalula, and the Republic of Kenya, represented by Minister Macharia. May we please come forward. The ministers will be signing a Memorandum of Understanding between the Government of the Republic of South Africa and the Government of the Republic of Kenya on transport-related matters. Thank you very much, Honorable Ministers. On the very same note, may I request you to again take your seats. We'll be signing another one, Honorable Ministers. We shall now witness the signing ceremony between the Republic of South Africa, represented by Honorable Minister Mbalula, and Republic of Kenya, represented by Minister Macharia. They will be signing now an agreement between the Government of the Republic of South Africa and the Government of the Republic of Kenya on air services. Thank you very much, honorable ministers. We shall now witness the signing ceremony between the Republic of South Africa, represented by Honorable Minister Mtswaleri once again, and Republic of Kenya, represented by Minister Omamo. They will be signing an agreement between the government of the Republic of South Africa and the government of the Republic of Kenya regarding the return of national refused entry and illegal entrance. Thank you very much, honorable ministers. And excellencies, that brings us to an end of the signing ceremony. I shall now hand over to Mr. Seal to conduct the press briefing. Thank you very much.
Well done.
Good afternoon, Your Excellencies and your respective and esteemed delegations. You are very welcome this afternoon to this press conference, which is an opportunity for us to have a public discussion on the deliberations that have unfolded since the start of this visit. And so I'd like to start, President Ramaphosa, by inviting you to deliver remarks. Thank you, President.
Public discussion. Your Excellency, President Uhuru Kenyatta, the President of the Republic of Kenya, honorable ministers and deputy ministers, our high commissioners on both sides, senior officials, members of the media, and ladies and gentlemen. I'd like to thank President Kenyatta and his delegation for the productive discussions we've just concluded on several issues that are vital to the development of our respective countries and progress on our continent as well. This state visit has allowed us to take stock of the current state of our bilateral relations, while also providing a great opportunity to explore other areas of mutual interest and benefit for our peoples. South Africa and Kenya share a long history of friendship. Friendship that is underpinned by mutual respect, common values, and solidarity. This is so because South Africa owes a great debt of gratitude to the people of Kenya for their unwavering support during our struggle for freedom and democracy. President Kenyatta and I have reaffirmed the strategic importance of bilateral relations between our two countries and reiterated our desire to elevate the nature of our relationship, which would include the conclusion of a strategic partnership agreement. As we have just witnessed, our two countries have further broadened and deepened the areas of cooperation through the signing of a number of agreements and memoranda of understanding in areas of diplomatic consultations, training, transport, air services, health tourism, migration, and the return of nationals refused entry. The decision of our respective national airlines to deepen their collaboration is a further testament to the growing ties between our two countries. We therefore welcome the announcement that South African Airways and Kenya Airways have agreed on a strategic partnership framework towards the creation of a Pan-African airline group that draws on the capabilities and the advantages of our two nations. A business forum consisting of businesses from South Africa and Kenya is currently underway here in Tshwane. Through this business forum, participants have the opportunity to share information about the business environment and a number of opportunities that exist that they can explore and exploit in a concrete way in terms of trade and investment in both our two countries. Kenya is one of South Africa's largest trading partners on our African continent outside of SADC, and we are committed to increasing the volume and broadening the composition of trade between our two countries. We want to see Kenya trading more with South Africa, and that Kenya must see our market as a great market for their goods and services. We will be working together to identify Kenyan export products for which there are great growth opportunities in South Africa. In areas where Kenya has competitive advantage, we would like Kenya to explore those opportunities in South Africa. We are also committed to investing more in each other's economies. As part of our efforts to promote intra-Africa trade, we will continue to look for opportunities to promote goods and services from each other's countries before considering suppliers from outside our continent. I'm therefore very pleased that President Kenyatta's program includes a visit to Transnet Engineering in Kudusport, not far from here. The visit provides an opportunity to showcase South Africa's capability in supplying to railway stock and rail-related products. Economic cooperation also requires progress in ensuring greater ease of travel between our two countries. We therefore acknowledge progress made in the areas of tourism and immigration, including the introduction of e-visas for Kenyans traveling to South Africa. We are committed to exploring further measures that will ease travel between our two countries as an important part of strengthening trade, investment, tourism, as well as cultural ties. We're therefore pleased to announce that a presidential task team at the level of the two presidents will be set up to improve ease of travel and address any visa-related challenges between our two countries. And this will focus on travel by business people, students, as well as those who seek medical attention. In the first instance, as they seek to find solutions for the broader issue of easing visa restrictions and removing those visa restrictions between our two countries. And we have said that they should report back to both of us within 6 months on all these matters. Those that can be addressed and solved immediately, such as business travel, medical, and students, they should find solutions for and have those implemented, but in any event, report back to us within 6 months. During the course of our discussions, we reflected on recent developments in our respective regions of our continent, and particularly in the situations in Mozambique, Sudan, and Ethiopia. South Africa aligns itself with SADC position to support and assist Mozambique in dealing with the instability in the Cabo Delgado area. SADC continues to be seized with the situation in Mozambique, and a consolidated regional approach in dealing with this matter is being pursued. And with respect to the Sudan, we strongly condemn any unconstitutional change of government and call on the parties to engage in constructive, good faith, and peaceful dialogue to restore the country's constitutional order. President Kenyatta and I discussed the grave situation in Ethiopia. We expressed our conviction that there is scope for dialogue amongst the warring parties in Ethiopia, and that there is an urgent need for all parties to the conflict to commit to an immediate, indefinite, and negotiated ceasefire and an all-inclusive political dialogue. South Africa regards Kenya as its strategic ally in East Africa, which actively contributes to peace, security, and economic development in the region. We appreciate the Council of Kenya on issues affecting East Africa and the Horn of Africa, and will support its efforts whenever possible and within our means. We reiterated the fact that the need for long-lasting peace and security on our continent has become more urgent as African countries put into effect the historic African Continental Free Trade Area Agreement. South Africa and Kenya stand together with the rest of the international community in support of freedom, justice for all people. We have reiterated our principled stance that the people of Palestine have their right to self-determination and nationhood. Unless the root causes of the conflict are addressed, in this case, the illegal occupation of Israel of Palestinian land, there will never be enduring peace in the Middle East. South Africa agrees with Kenya that it is important for the United Nations Security Council to support the work of the United Nations mission for a referendum in Western Sahara. Like Kenya, we are concerned at the delay in the holding of the referendum, which is necessary for the realization of the right of the self-determination demand by the people of Western Sahara. We are also concerned at the inadequate protection of the issue of human rights for the people of Sahrawi. I have assured President Kenyatta of South Africa's continued support for Kenya's tenure as a non-permanent member of the UN Security Council for 2021-2022. We welcome the stance that Kenya continues to take on African issues at the UN Security Council. We also reflected on the devastation that COVID-19 has wrought on people of our continent and their livelihoods. We have agreed that South Africa and Kenya, as like-minded countries, should work together to build consensus on how the continent should emerge from the COVID pandemic. We have also reiterated our strong support for the demand that there should be equitable and transparent distribution of vaccine doses to developing countries. We are very pleased that President Kenyatta will be visiting the Aspen Pharmacare factory in Gqeberha. The visit to the facility will demonstrate South Africa's commitment to ensuring that not only South Africa but Kenya and other countries do also gain manufacturing capacity and capability. So we are very pleased that President Kenyatta will be proceeding to Gqeberha on this visit. In conclusion, we have had an opportunity today to discuss in some depth several of the challenges facing our continent, and I'd like to thank President Kenyatta for having taken time from his busy schedule to pay a state visit to South Africa, which has enabled us to deepen our cooperation and to broaden the relationship between Kenya and South Africa. And with those words, President Kenyatta, I'd like to say thank you once again. Asante sana for coming to South Africa.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. President. And I now invite Your Excellency President Kenyatta to address us. Thank you very much.
Your Excellency and dear brother, President Cyril Ramaphosa, honorable ministers present, all senior officials who have been part of our discussions today, ladies and gentlemen of the Fourth Estate, let me begin by saying that we have been in South Africa since yesterday. And indeed, I truly want to thank my brother, President Ramaphosa, and indeed the people of South Africa for the very warm hospitality that has been accorded to me and my delegation since we arrived here in Pretoria. After close to 30 years of diplomatic relations, the Kenya-South African partnership and friendship has truly come of age. In addition to strong bilateral ties which span a wide range of areas, Kenya and South Africa are close partners also at the regional as well as on the global stage. And in this context, allow me to congratulate you, Your Excellency, once again for the exemplary leadership during your tenure as chair of the African Union in the year 2020. The African Bureau that you led and which I was delighted to be a part of established the African Joint Continental Strategy for COVID-19, which continues to guide our success and response to the pandemic to date. Kenya is also proud to join the United Nations Security Council as a non-permanent member for the period 2021 to 22, following immediately after South Africa. I want to thank once again, through you, Mr. President, your government and country's support to Kenya's candidacy, and to assure you that we will continue where you left off to articulate various concerns affecting our continent. President Ramaphosa, as is befitting a true friend and partner, has gone through and covered in a lot of detail the fruitful discussions that we have had together with our officials this morning on a wide range of political, social, and economic issues of mutual interest. Indeed, we have witnessed today the signing of 8 agreements covering a wide range of issues, including health cooperation, diplomatic consultations, training and cooperation in fields of tourism and air services, all very key to both our countries. The rest, I think, the President has detailed, and I do not need to repeat. So I want to conclude and to say that I hope you will all agree with me that it is only by working together that we can achieve the desired outcomes for closer bilateral cooperation and strategic partnerships. We have today definitely made very good strides. However, we believe there is still scope to do even more. So once again, let me reaffirm Kenya's commitment to work together with our brothers and sisters in South Africa in driving the aspirations of our people through the promotion of the African agenda. I once again thank you, Mr. President, for your invitation, and also repeat my invitation to you for a reciprocal visit at a time of your convenience to Kenya, where we can continue to further enhance the dialogue that we have and the strong and solid partnership that we continue to build. I thank you all very much.
I accept your invitation with immediate effect.
Thank you, Excellencies, for your addresses. I now have 4 members of the Fourth Estate who have questions to address to you. And Sophie, if it's okay, I'd like to start with Sophie Mokoena of the SABC. Good afternoon.
My question is directed to both President Kenyatta and President Ramaphosa. You spoke about the issue of peace and security on the continent and looked at Sudan and Ethiopia. In recent times, we saw the attacks by insurgents, and a few days ago, President of Uganda, Yoweri Museveni, said those perpetrators who attacked Uganda a few days ago fled to 4 countries, that is Kenya, Rwanda, South Africa, and Mozambique. What is your reaction to that statement? And now today we get information that the US Embassy in Ethiopia has warned that there's an imminent attack by terrorists.
Imminent attack by terrorists?
To which country?
The US Embassy in Ethiopia.
Or that there's going to be an attack there.
It's a warning and a threat that they picked up that something is likely to happen in Ethiopia.
Okay. I think the first point in response to your question is that terrorism is not a fight that can be fought by any one country. And in fact, you heard from President Ramaphosa's talk about the meetings that we've had, how we have exchanged on how South Africa is cooperating with other SADC countries in Mozambique to defeat these terrorists. And we must always recognize that despite them having different names, they are all collectively working together. And therefore, we as governments need to work together. There is no Mozambican terrorist or Kenyan terrorist or Ugandan terrorist or Congolese terrorists. These are all, unfortunately, young, misled people who follow a wrong ideology. And therefore, we need to work together to be able to defeat them before they hurt us. And it is true. We will find that some of the people who are in Mozambique are from maybe Kenya, they are from Tanzania, vice versa. So these kind of elements can only be defeated if governments work together. And I think that is what we were re-emphasizing in our discussions, that there is need for all of us to come together in order to be able to defeat this enemy of the people, if we may put it that way. Today it will be Uganda, tomorrow it will be elsewhere. So let us just say that what is required is deeper cooperation between us in order for us to be able to tackle this problem. I'm not 100% sure on the Ethiopian situation, so let me not comment on that.
It's just really to reiterate what President Kenyatta is saying, that the threat by insurgents should never be seen as localized or just focusing on one country. They cooperate. All these groupings that come through or in different names, they coordinate their activities, they are in constant communication, and we therefore need to respond in a coordinated manner as the continent, as various regions on our continent, in as far as sharing information, sharing intelligence, and working together to withstand and resist and also go after them. We certainly have found that working together in our region, here in SADC, dealing with the Mozambican situation, is bearing a great deal of fruit and success in that theater in Mozambique. But that theater can spread very quickly and easily, as now Uganda is bearing the brunt of all this. And we've cooperated at close range with President Museveni, who has also shared information on an ongoing basis with us. And we as South Africa, and indeed as SADC, stand ready to give assistance as we also get assistance from friendly countries, sister countries like Kenya, Uganda, and many others. I too cannot say much about this imminent threat on Ethiopia, and we just hope that that will not eventuate. As regards the people who have fled to various countries, of course insurgents will always want to flee to various countries as they run away from the heat that is being put on them in one country or another. So it is possible they will find their way to us here, but they will find us ready for them as well. Thank you.
Aviwe Mtila, ENCI.
Thank you very much. President Kenyatta, you mentioned a bit earlier that the trade between the two countries is enormously skewed in favor of South Africa, and you mentioned that it needs to be tackled urgently. Do you have any plans on how to go about this, given that South Africa as well would want to ramp up trade, given that it comes at the backdrop of COVID-19?
Again, I think President Ramaphosa has, in his address to the press, really quite covered that comprehensively, because we really stated, as I said also when we were inside the building, that we need to be able to remove all different barriers that exist, that deny our people from increasing either volume of trade or being able to actually engage in trade itself. And I think what is important from today is the commitment, especially at the political level, the highest political level, that we are both committed towards seeing all these NTBs removed, being able to facilitate our people to be able to do more business, to be able to encourage them to do more business. We have, as part of the discussions, agreed on a technical team of the ministries of trade of our two respective countries that will engage to find these various bottlenecks. We've also discussed in great detail barriers to also movement of goods and persons. And again, you heard President Ramaphosa mention that we have also established a high-level committee at our level to be able to discuss, with a time period of 6 months, what are the impediments to the free movement of persons and goods as well between our two countries. All of these are aimed towards seeing an increase in the volume of trade and investment between our two countries. And what I am particularly happy about is the level of commitment at the highest level possible that we have seen today in terms of reversing that situation and to have a much more balanced situation prevail in terms of trade between our two countries. A much more balanced and increase in terms of volume, in terms of volume of goods, but also in terms of the amount of actual transactions that are actually done between our two countries. So I must say that I am quite happy with the commitment that I have seen from the government of South Africa led by President Ramaphosa.
I'd just like to add on the very positive side that we would like to see trade between South Africa and Kenya moving towards the direction of being balanced, because it's horribly imbalanced at the moment. So I'd like to see Kenya's trade with South Africa almost quadrupling, because it is at a very low level at the moment. And that should mean that we want to see more services from a Kenyan point of view being delivered in South Africa of whatever nature, where Kenya has a competitive advantage, which can add to also the growth of our own economy, where Kenya has products where they are competitive, coming into our markets and appearing on our shelves. We often see things like tea from Sri Lanka, Ceylon tea and stuff like that. I think South Africans would love to see more and more Kenyan tea from the foothills of the Kilimanjaro mountains. And I think they should have a tea like that. Coffee and cut flowers we already get, although they are rerouted. Would like to see more and more of that, so that the intra-Africa trade becomes a reality, and becomes a reality quickly between our two countries, particularly following this state visit as well.
Thank you, Your Excellencies. Karine Duplessis, Business Day.
Hi, good afternoon, Your Excellencies. President Ramaphosa, I just want to add Farmer's Choice on behalf of Kenyans living in South Africa
Oh,
to
well
your
done.
list of tea and
Oh wow, Farmer's Choice.
Yes, because I always travel with us. No, I shouldn't say. I don't travel with him in my bag. Your Excellencies, I want to ask a question about Israel. President Ramaphosa mentioned this situation in the Middle East, the Israel-Palestine question. I just want to know, recently we saw Israel accredited to the African Union, with a lot of other embassies and diplomats. And I just want to know, I know that our countries hold different views on Israel and we have different relations with Israel, but now that they are accredited, is there any way that this could benefit the continent? I would like to ask perhaps to both presidents. Thank you.
Should I go first? We did touch on this matter of the so-called accreditation of Israel to the African Union. And as we did at a public level express our disquiet, we've also raised that matter, and we both agreed that the manner in which it was done could have been done better. And this matter is obviously going to be relegated for discussion at the African Heads of State meeting in February. And I think that is as far as one can go, particularly ourselves, on this matter, because we are going to have an opportunity to fully examine this matter and discuss it properly and get into the full contours of this matter and see what the efficacy of having such a dispensation for the state of Israel is within the African continent. So I'd like to say that this is a matter under discussion, and we will be able to, as the continent, reach a full conclusion in our meeting as heads of states in February.
I just want to agree with what President Ramaphosa has said that indeed this is a matter under consideration. And to once again just to re-emphasize that point that whenever we are dealing with critical matters, it is always important to make sure you carry everybody along. And unfortunately, this didn't quite happen. And as he has said, there will be a discussion, on the matter, because it should have actually allowed discussion, because what we want is for Africa to speak with one voice. We don't want to see a divided African voice on any major issue that faces our continent. We have too many problems of our own. In fact, that's what we were saying to ourselves. We have too many problems of our own to want to be divided about problems that are outside our continent. So it's a matter that shall be discussed, and I'm sure we will find a proper resolution. But the important thing is for Africa to continue maintaining the stance that we have always had, that we speak in one voice. We deliberate on issues and we take decisions as a body. And I think that is what is important in this. And February, I'm sure it'll be a matter that will come up for discussion.
Thank you, President. Our final question is from Zwandile Mbeje of the SABC.
Good afternoon to the President. My colleagues have tended to cover just about everything international, so I might as well throw in something local with a bit of international.
Careful.
Yes. Mr. President, I know you are here as head of state, hosting the President of Kenya. But as South Africans, we still want to hear from our President. We have seen that the governing party has lost just about every economic hub due to the elections that happened on the 1st of November. Given that even here where we are today in Tshwane, chances are when we wake up tomorrow is the opposition that will be in charge. I don't know whether you did share with your counterpart. And the coastal seat of Durban tomorrow, chances are it's going the same way. Surely, that can't be, I guess, from the party point of view, be good news, I guess, from your side. President Kenyatta, I know that you are on your last term. Perhaps you may have offered tips on how to get a second term. Thank you.
I knew you were going to be naughty and slip in a local question when we are on the international stage here. I thought that what happens in Vegas should stay in Vegas. I did say to President Kenyatta that his timing for visiting South Africa is really poor. He should have come on the 1st of November. As a good friend, I know he would have voted for us. So now we've lost, we didn't have his vote. No, what is unfolding is how democracy works. This is the footsteps, if you like, of democracy. And we've seen it play out throughout the country. And indeed, as president of the governing party, it is disappointing for the African National Congress, but that is how we should accept the clear message of our people on the African National Congress. We've taken heed, we have listened, and this for us is a big setback, but it is also a big lesson. And we are a party that learns very quickly, and we are going to go to the drawing board. We are going to reflect on all these setbacks. And all we want to see, speaking now as President of the Republic, I'd like to see stability in our local government sector, that whatever coalitions have been formed and are being formed will result in stable local government, that we do not have instability and collapse of local governments, motions of no confidence, to a point where service delivery will not be given to the people of our country. So I will call on those who have emerged victorious to say, ensure that there is stable government, and congratulate those who have succeeded. I was particularly pleased to see that a number of female metro mayors have come to the fore on the platform, and that is good as far as our agenda to promote the empowerment of women, and it behoves well for the state of the Republic of South Africa, and we wish those councillors who have been elected the very best, and may they all continue to work well for the people of various communities across the country. That's all one can say at this stage. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. President. And
no, I'll just say that the only thing it's not for me to comment on domestic politics, but really just to say that as South Africans, you should be very proud and happy with yourselves that you have a mature democracy. What you see here is not very common in many other parts of the world. So mine is to congratulate South Africans and to say, let us continue entrenching democracy as a way of governance, and to say we are proud of you, and results are one way this way, next time there'll be another way, but what is important is that the tenets of democracy are at the root of South African society, and that is something South Africans should be proud of. As to lessons, well, I don't have to repeat. Second term, he's told us already they're learning lessons. So.
Absolutely.
Thank you, Your Excellencies. Thank you to our delegations. Thank you to the Fourth Estate for participating in this session. And that concludes the press conference. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
All right, President Uhuru Kenyatta visiting on a state visit to South Africa.